But Lloyd has done a lot of work in terms of securing this speaker for us, who is a top name, as I indicated, and I'm going to ask him now just to very quickly give us an update on where he is.
Voted to our speaker, Dr. Philip Emeagwali. The pronunciation, as the chairman said in our previous meeting, if you look at the spelling, you wouldn't know what the pronunciation is, but we ask you to take it from us that the pronunciation is Emeagwali. The record. I might also tell you that the computing industry has a what do you call it, an award? A prize. The computing industry has a prize which the computing industry, regard as the Nobel Prize of Computing. And our guest speaker is the only individual in the 16-year history of this prize to have won it. All the other winners are teams of researchers. He's the only one individual who has won. And the last thing I tell you about him is that the US government, being the smart people that they are, they looked at the landscape and tried to determine what are some of the major technological challenges, computing challenges, which is almost the same thing, that as a country we must try to resolve to make progress. And so their office of what they call Office of Science and Technology Policy identified 20 problem areas, which they call the National Computational Grand Challenges of Science and Technology. And they identified 20 of them. And this gentleman, our next guest speaker, has taken on to himself the challenge. This is where he wants to work. He wants to work, he wants his computers to help deal with some of these 20 grand computational challenges in science and technology. And that gives you a measure of the kind of guy that Emeagwali is. Now, the last point I want to say very quickly is, why have we looked for somebody like Emeagwali? There are probably two reasons. The first is that, as we all know as we sit here, the question of computer technology, information technology, it is very, very current, because from my perspective, this whole question of knowledge and knowledge technology is probably the new currency of wealth in the information age in which we are now operating. And so it's on our lips, it's on everybody's lips, it's on the government's agenda, it's on the opposition's agenda, it's on your agenda, it's on our agenda. So we thought it was, it makes sense if our guest speaker was somebody from this area. And the other reason, of course, is that we wanted to our young children to see and recognize that there are people like us Jamaicans who are on the forefront of knowledge creation. And this is important because, there are a lot of people who call us third world, which is something that we're not proud of, because we in this room are not third world. Our minds are not third world. We don't think third world. And so we want our children to understand. The word excellence and the Jamaica Medical Foundation must be mentioned in the same breath. And from that perspective, therefore, it means that any speaker we bring to address our foundation banquets must be world class. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've given you a perspective on who our next guest speaker is. He'll be here with us, when is it? March. In March. We are bringing him in a little earlier because this guy has a website that attracts 500,000 visitors a year. And a lot of those visitors are school children. And school children from all over the world. A year. 500,000 visitors a year. And so we're bringing him in a few days early because we want him to meet some of our young kids. This, I hope, gives you a perspective. Of course, any filling out any questions, we'll try to deal with it. Thank you very much.